moves, news moves, news, news, moves, news, news, moves, news, moves, news, 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 moves. Well, where are we at now with this rhythm that I'm setting up, which I'm going to create some figure skating choreography to, which you can copy or you can use this. You're free to use this. I'll make it available somehow. Yeah, it's still in the rehearsal phase, but let's see where we are. I did add a little something. Since the last time I did this little rhythm. Yeah, so that could be fun to create some choreography too. Yes, now, what is new right now? Well, I did go over to the an elder care facility just a few days ago, and I took my inline skates with me, and I gave a performance to music actually for a sold out crowd. Well, I don't know if I could call it a crowd actually, but it was like SRO, standing room only. There was probably at least a dozen people there watching, very enthusiastically. And it was reported that I brought joy into their hearts through my performance. I enjoyed it myself, even though giving a performance is kind of like hard work. You have to really keep your wits about you, and you've got to maintain your endurance through various ways. Reducing unnecessary tension, good planning. If you want to give a good performance, which it's all improvisation, because I just, we just throw on some music and go. And they played some Japanese music by request towards the end, which I was not as familiar with, so I had to really use my ears for that one. And it was very melodic music, so it was very challenging not only because melodies are more difficult to interpret than rhythm. Rhythm's pretty predictable. Melodies can do different things in the structure of the music. But so that I got to really listen to those melodies and the way they're phrased and different things like that. But also on those inline skates, it's much more difficult to hold a nice curving, sustained, gliding edge glide. Much more difficult because on the figure skates you have, of course, a smooth rocker curve on the bottom of your blade, and yeah, okay, that introduces some instability, but it gives you great maneuverability and predictability. The crude rocker that we have on inline skates with the middle, I only use 3 wheels. I don't use 4 wheels because maybe I can, yeah, actually my skates are right here. I can show you my skates. Yeah, I don't like the 4 wheels. The 4 wheels are considered to be free skates, and I have done some jumping. I've done the axles on these things. I don't jump so much right now. But yeah, the middle wheel is a little lower, so if you put most of your weight on that middle wheel, and or even all of your weight on that middle wheel, then that's very challenging. Then you can maneuver a bit better, but it's basically kind of a crude balance, difficult to balance on these things. And And I was on a very small space too. So, and there's the safety concern of people sitting around me, like right there as well. And not only do I know what I'm capable of, and with my experience and whatnot, it's not like you can take the risk out of everything you do. But just because I know what I'm capable of, I know that I'm capable of like moving in this direction with some pretty good speed, and then changing my direction the other direction with somebody right in front of me, I'm pretty confident that I can do that safely and no problem. But that person doesn't know what my capabilities are, and so, you know, I not only do I want to be safe, but I don't want to freak anybody out either. So that was a whole exercise, and then I was asked for some general advice because I've kept pretty active through my life, and I've done a lot of different sports and different things, and I was asked if I could give any advice to everybody, and there were some very elderly koresha in attendance. I asked one woman, she was 94 actually. Yeah, and she seemed like she was a pretty sound mind and body from her age. But what our struggle and what our challenge is, as far as longevity, if I could put it succinctly, I wanted to make some general comment that could, you know, inspire, and that everybody can kind of understand, and that is kind of interesting as well. What we're really fighting is gravity, because you know, gravity can pull us down, and you know, I mean, I might want to do an exercise like this actually sometimes to stretch my back, but I don't want to go around like this all the time. I'd prefer not to. And you know, for those 100-year-old centenarians out there who are still making their way around and everything like that, good for them. But we want to certainly delay that process. Not that I can speak for everybody, but, and the thing is we want to fight gravity. So gravity pulls us down in a few different ways, you know, like head, you know, a lot of misalignments actually. Misalignments are losing the battle against gravity. Like, if you think about it, if your knee goes in, you go lower. Or if your arch collapses, you go lower. Gravity is winning. And so, you know, like a slumped, you know, like even sometimes if we put our head on the sideways, that's like kind of like very relaxed position. Don't have to support your head, but gravity's kind of winning. Or here in a position like this, many people go like this. No necessity to balance the head in a proper position. It does take a little power to do that. Not power in the oomph sense, but power, it's a little drain on your energy to maintain good posture and balance. And yeah, so that's what we want to do. We want to fight gravity, and as athletes we want to, and figure skaters, we want to fight gravity in the extreme, because maybe we want to jump really, really high to give us lots of time to twirl around several times. Yeah, so what else is new in the news? Well, this mic is new, and what does this new mic have to do with the Moves news? Well, it's not only going to give really good sound, but it's going to allow me to move even more. Actually, it's nice. It doesn't have any cables. It's attached with a Bluetooth to a receiver on the camera, and this is a little bit of a transmitter here, Bluetooth. And so it's very handy. It doesn't have any cables, so it's nice. It's attached with a magnet through the shirt. So I can take you more places, and not only because of this, but because now I have this, I can take you many places. Yeah, I got myself a GoPro, and so I can take you for a vicarious run. Yeah, where you're just sitting there relaxing, and I can take you for a run, maybe at a pace where I could even do some kind of commentary along the way. But if I'm running full blast, I'm not going to have enough energy to talk, because the breathing can, of course, become a limiting factor in our ability to expend energy and like run fast, for example. So, but a slow trot, and yeah, I've developed, as you know, if you've been watching my channel for a while, I believe in warming up slowly to things and improving in increments, both when you're learning new things and when you're warming up. And so, like, I've figured out, and I'll take you out here. I might need I have an OBS-bot, a camera that follows me, so I could use that maybe, or I'll take a camera person out there and I'll show you how I've developed the turning of a walk into a run in as gradual a way as possible, and how I use various styles of walking to improve, to work on and improve my skill at walking, and therefore at running, because walking and running are basically kind of like the same things. They're just sort of, I don't know, yeah. The technique is very, very similar. Yeah, in running, perhaps we're doing a little bit more, it's more action, yeah, for certainly, and often we're going into the distinguishing, maybe definition change between walking and running is that walking you have both feet contacting the ground at the same time, whereas when you're running, you're airborne part of the time. But you know, you have a choice to make as far as being airborne. So if you're going to be airborne a lot of the time and not as much, not as long a stance phase in your running, in other words, if you're going to be like up higher against gravity, like in that higher place up there, then you're going to have a more up and down motion. It's going to be a little more work. Because walking and running are both jumping. Running is jumping, right? You're jumping and you're landing, you're going up and down a little bit. Of course, then if you lower your center of gravity, you can then get a more of a range of power as you push, just the same as when you're skating. If you lower your center of gravity, you can contact that ice for a longer stretch, so for power. So, and then it's also a little maybe easier on your joints, depending on how you move, because I'm not going to be going as much up and down if I have a lower center of gravity. The stance phase is going to be longer, and I'm going to be in a lower position. It does require some skill to do this, just the same as in skating, where we want to be able to remove all up and down motion when we're doing crossovers, for example. In my ideal crossover method, I would not have any up and down motion of the core. All the motion would be in the three legs, the three joints of the leg, the hip, the knee, and the ankle. And that's it. Hip, knee, ankle. I can't really demonstrate it here, but that's basically hip, knee, and ankle motion only. And no, so the most bend I would have would be when I first step on when it first contacts the ice, that's the most bend I'm going to have, and then from there it just straightens. Yeah, so I have all these gadgets. I did have this camera's in a really ideal place right here. Boom, right there. This goggle cam. I played around with this a little bit. It's very good for skiing, because skiing with the snow blowing up into the air and skiing at high speed, glasses are not enough. So I do wear goggles when I ski, and so having a camera right there is cool. And this, of course, moves, as does the GoPro. It moves with my head, so you can basically not quite see what I'm looking at, because I might move just my eyes. I might look down at my speedometer, for example, and back up then. So if my head doesn't move, my neck doesn't move, then the camera doesn't move either. But yeah, this could be used as a training tool. Technology, technology is great, you know. I mean, yeah, it can have its downsides too, of course, but yeah. So let's say you want to do a jump, any jump. Now, does everybody agree with me on this or not? When you do a jump, you want to have your eyes level all the time. You want to have your head level all the time. Is there any reason when you're doing a jump to go sideways in your head? Or do you want to have your head level all the time? So, I don't know, in my method, I want to have my eyes level all the time, shoulders as well, and even hips kind of level. And spine vertical. That's my personal method, but I can test this, and I haven't really done this so much recently, but I can put these on, put the camera on, and go out and do any jump. And do I in fact maintain that levelness? I mean, maybe your coach can tell you, oh, your head's going sideways in the middle of that jump, but this is confirmation. Sometimes we need some confirmation. We need to be reminded from different sources about what's really going on. And so this is something that can do that. And yeah, technology is pretty handy for many things. I don't think that the massage gun is panacea. I don't think it's going to cure all your needs for your muscles, for muscle maintenance. I think I still have and use these other modalities. More modalities is good. Just because you have a massage gun and it's easy to use because the motor does a lot of the work, doesn't mean it's the whole solution. I definitely don't find so. No. Well, for one thing, it's not as easy to do the back. Yeah, I could figure out a way and practice and probably do my back as well, but it's not as easy as the roller is the best tool for the back. Yeah, I do this once a day maybe. So, when we're doing any kind of massage like this, we want to seek out the pain. Where is the pain? In this case I do have some, this is quite a painful area, so I'm going to focus there a little bit. And it's not like I want to make this the most painful it can be for myself either. Just because I'm looking for where the pain is doesn't mean I want to cause the most pain. All right, so if I have this feels a little bit sore and tender through here, I want to just gently nudge into the pain, maybe repeatedly throughout the day somehow, and ease that muscle, that tight muscle off. Yeah, I've been working on, yeah, the no pain, no gain thing I get, but is it really, it doesn't mean the more pain you cause yourself, the more gain you're going to get. I mean, there are some occasions where you need to be really tough and just work through the pain. Like, for example, when I'm talking about making it through your competitive program, any way you slice it, the last few minutes, it's a type of pain that just wanting to sit down or lie down feeling, you know. So it's hard work, and you're breathing, and you're tired, and no pain, no gain. Well, you got to put yourself through those kind of situations to improve your endurance and your general performance. And yeah, okay, you're kind of like pushing. Anytime you make a change, things get a little worse before they get better. There's that adjustment phase, and sometimes when you do something new, yeah, it can be a little painful if you're using muscles and you're not used to. But if you do these things gradually, then you don't cause undue pain. And if I pushing so hard with this and have it on a really high setting and creating massive pain for me, but this is going to be no pain, no gain, so I'm going to be so much better. I think you want to find a balance as to how much pain you cause yourself when you're doing this. Just be patient. You're not just going to solve your problem all at once just by causing yourself a lot of pain. No major problems there. This has been a problem. This is a pain place. Sometimes the pain place is centered around a point, like a node. And sometimes you can discover that the pain follows a particular line, follows a particular muscle line. And so if you discover where the pain is, you can kind of like solve your problems this way. Solve some of your problems this way. This hamstring has been not good for a while, so I started doing axles and double axles again, speaking about no pain, no gain. And just this action, I'm like jumping higher, and it's more action now for double axle than single. So I'm really getting this swinging up into the air and then pulling it in tight to the rotating position. And somewhere in that action, it stresses out this hamstring. So I'm trying to deal with that. I always have something to deal with as well. Yeah, so I think maybe that's about it for today. I could talk about my ebook, which I've been editing now for many, many months, on and off, but for years. I wrote the book in a matter of weeks, just threw my ideas on paper, and over the short period. But then I've been massaging the wording, and if I'm going to convey some thoughts through a book, or an ebook or an actual paper book, it has to be something different than what you could get out of watching one of my videos. There is that. So, and I have a pretty good grasp of the English language. I have a massive vocabulary, and I know how to research. I'm very familiar with how to find the dictionary and the thesaurus, and so between my experience in crossword puzzles and my experience, I don't know, maybe it's embarrassing to admit this, my experience with reading and studying the dictionary. And I do the crossword puzzle every day. This morning was slow, and It was around half an hour, and maybe my average is closer to now between 15 and 20 minutes to do the cryptic. And I caught myself drifting, like not full concentration, but sometimes the puzzle is just more difficult. The person setting the puzzle, or however it's set, it's just not my, or this is actually from the London newspaper, so sometimes it's an English word that's not really as common for us Canadians. But anyways, it took it. So sometimes you get started in your day, and I did that first thing in my day before getting anything productive done, let's say. Although I do consider doing the crossword puzzle to be very productive and necessary and useful. It's just really good mental iron pumping doing the crossword puzzle. And so, it's just not my day. I could have said that, or like at the beginning of your program, you missed your first. It's just not. Or at the beginning of the session, you go out there skating. You're all wanting to do your best, and you throw this huge waxel, and you land your boot flaps down on the ice, and it makes a huge noise, and you hurt yourself, and you get a little bruise or something like that. It's just not my day. Well, I don't know if it's painful for your ego or where the pain or what the problem is, but you got to get over if you want to be the champion, you're not going to be it's just not my day type of defeatist kind of person. And you're going to get out of the habit even of saying, it's a lovely day today. Well, no, right now it's lovely, but an hour from now it could be a rainstorm. So, we gotta put we have to be adaptable to be good athletes, adaptable in our way of thinking and our way of getting over problems, and of being defeatist. An optimistic person would not say, it's not my day. They would say, okay, that's a wake-up call. I'm going to get my act together as soon as possible. I'm going to continue to get my act together through the rest of the morning, and then figure out where I'm going to go and find some ice to practice on. And I'm looking forward to going to Clout, Italy, in a few weeks. I'll be there through most of the month of July. I've got a few exciting projects planned, which I will fill you in on, and which you will get to see the results of. And yes, I've got a few shorts that I'm going to be working on over there in Italy. And come to Clout. It's a wonderful place to skate. It's a wonderful little village in the Dolomite Mountains. Just an hour and a half or so up the road from Cortina d'Ampezzo, where the Olympics figure skating will be next year. Less than a year from now. Yes. And I'm going to practice and skate there and do my best. And it's a wonderful place to go in the summer. If you're in Italy, come and see me in Clout. Drop by, make a day trip out of it, or plan to come for a while. Okay, I'll see you soon. Bye for now.